Kings, I come bearing two things today. One, news about the Baldo man that is a slight win for him, but somehow still is a loss. And two, for those that read the comments, I stated I have an especially cursed song to use. Let us all bask in it as I go along. So the news today is that the Baldo man has his kids back, but also not really. The major caveat is that his parents have to stay in the complex with Nick, our wife, and April as part of the ruling handed down. Nick, of course, played this as an absolute win over everyone else and neglected to mention he's still being monitored or if he ever gave CPS his drug testing results. I'm leaning no, because only a prude incel would take honest steps to get their kids back without any catches. And with his parents there, it just means they can do all the lame parenting shit he doesn't enjoy doing, like bathing them, feeding them, taking them to the various commitments that he and our wife signed them up for, participating in their homeschooling and spending time with them in general. Indubitably, we will be informed of this in an eventual interesting new matter of public record. Editor Bernie here. I realized in editing that I didn't have this part long enough initially to extend through the song proper. So I'll talk about some Bodycam cope again. Nick has once again stated he has nothing to do with why it hasn't been released, but doesn't know why anyone would want it, as it doesn't show anything. If it didn't show anything, he wouldn't be repeatedly filing motions to prevent it, or any filings being made available to inquiring and curious parties. There's really only a couple things most people, mainly me, care about. The condition of the house, the door being rammed down, and Nick trying to be a badass and throw the search warrant to the ground. I'm also not buying that the custody case had any bearing on why it hasn't been released, now that in the short term it has been put on hold. I think we can all say there's a strong non-0% chance Nick is completely sober. Hopefully with his parents being there, they'll keep him in line, but that's just wishful thinking on my part. You already know Nick wants to continue his victory parade over the farms. Clip channels and all those who do not embrace the Baldo. Might as well let him start now.
Baldonatics, I promised you a victory over the government, and I have delivered. The government shall suckle upon my blessed teat in hopes of quarter, but none shall be given. Our wife and my new wife, April, who has taken the fall for me so that I may continue to lose my subscribers and not get any new streaming deals, are both ecstatic at this new revelation. My lawyer worked with such swiftness and made that prude incel, Mark Randazza, look like some schmuck public defender who can't tell anti-slap law from forest law. We took it to those evidence-planning faggots and showed them they can't big dog the law pope at my own non-practicing game. When I stood triumphant, I dropped my Baldo directly onto the judge's desk and demanded he lick it clean as reparations for every white bread-ass nigga who was ever wrongly arrested. Never again shall anyone trifle me in my business. Not Alyssa, not Pepsi Man, not even the Karen Farms. I am the one who outdid Jersh and the A-Logs. And just to build on it, I'm making a spin-off of Ronversations that I'm calling Nullversations, where we read the literal fucking paragraphs I sent to him to prove my points correct and decisive. Drex is a nigger PDF file with a $5 donation asking if I'm confusing this with my case for my future Israeli Special Forces training dummies called my children. Sir, I think I would know which case I won, and I will be having you arrested for perjury. So it is you who will be enjoying prison. Stalker child. Jesus, that guy was dumber than Sean. Or as I'm going to call him in the future for not putting on the Baldo, potentially dick sucking. Get felted, you fucking fraud. But that's it for the... What kind of prude incel calls me during my 3 a.m. daytime stream? Probably Jersh calling to beg for my forgiveness from his shower for a change. Jersh, this better be...
Hi, Mr. Rekieta. This is your new lawyer, Michael Douglas, and...
Oh, hi, Michael. What brought on this sudden call? I'm still trying to end my stream, so do bear in mind that my unconditionally loving fans can hear us.
I am just calling to once again congratulate you on your victory in court.
Thank you. Without your fiery passion for sticking it to these prude incels in government who have a vendetta with a limited celebrity in flyover country Minnesota, I would have never been able to beat my possession charges.
What? No, I think you're mistaken. Nick, listen, you got your children back. Your criminal case is still ongoing. But I have to imagine you are quite elated to have your family back home, right?
Wait, I have my kids back? That's impossible. We beat my criminal case. I can't have my kids back. This has to be a mistake. We've been set up. They did it again. How? This was the farm's plan all along, wasn't it? The government infiltrated them and now are in cahoots. The pain, the unending pain. They planted the drugs and gun, and now they've planted my children against my will. There's only one thing capable of doing this.
Fuck my life. He's doing it again.
The gangster computer. God has once more made my life even worse deadly than before. The gangster computer god has used his power to make the negroidic mafionic judge that presided over my custody case believe he was removing the false charges that the gangster computer god and gangster A-logs planted in order for the deadly gangster police to raid my complex and deliver my sneak extermination, but could only exterminate my doorway. This is proof that my defenses against the gangster police and A-logs are effective, and that you should follow the example of I, Wes Keydek Esquire, and perhaps one day you too can become the only hope for a future like me. But even these defenses cannot protect me in public. Timothy Walls, my sole ally in the gangster government and defender from the gangster playboy scum on top, has turned against me and has decided to align himself with those who routinely gangsterize me. The next man who takes over will only keep the Somali men. Me and our wife enjoy away from us by notarizing me as a pummeler of niggers and send gangster assassins to use the deadly Tabin. You all know these facts are true, as my Frankenstein eyesight television playback shows all of this to be true. Unlike that sodomistic slut Elisha Sweep, who routinely made provocative gestures to the judge and whispered, "I'll give it to you to suck, finish him." She has done nothing but ruin my case in life. She has made me live on minimum wage, which has only made my life even worse deadly. Not even potentially criminal. My only lawyer friend and trained government assassin ignores my plight to protect the defenseless Mr. Keydek from the deadly gangsters. He simply cackles with joy as I am routinely sprayed with poison nerve gas from every possible gadget, even the air conditioning inside my Mustang. Not even when on June 6th, the gangster Condeohai County sheriffs beat me bloodily before my worse than a farce hearing. There are no do-gooders left in this world. Everyone simply exists to gangsterize me. Deliver my sneak, undetectable extermination, or potential deadly gangster candidates from Jero S. A. Lem. And so I will go to extermination to protect those who would destroy the Frankenstein controls and make the gangster computer god take my children back to whatever slimy kosher gangster had them. Should I survive, I will find a way to expand my protection from gangster police and A-logs to avoid extermination on Rumble. I will continue to share my stories of survival from extermination attempts by the gangster computer god. Remember, it is gangster Condeohai County Court, high holy law. I'll give it to you to suck. Finish him.